Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. The Polish-American Congress plays a vital role in supporting the Polish community in the United States and advocating for policies that protect their rights and well-being. This work also extends to ensuring continued U.S. support for Ukraine with ongoing challenges in the region. We're pleased now to speak with Bożena Kamiński, Vice President, Polish-American Congress, here in the studio. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
So let's begin with the basics. The mission of the Congress, the Diaspora, it's a big one in the United States. So walk us through what you do and why it matters.
Yeah, the initial intention of creating the Congress was to have a voice of Polish Americans, and that started in '44. That was before the war ended, and Polish Americans felt that they need to speak to elected officials, but they need organization. So that matter continues. Everybody knows we helped Solidarity Movement as a Polish American Congress. We helped Poland to be included into NATO. Of course, the Katyn massacre was also unveiled, with actually Russia being responsible, not Germany, through the U.S. Senate. So those things still continue. We encourage the State Division to have a good relationship and know your congressmen, know your senators, because it's important to have their good relationship with them, because they are the one that making decisions.
Yeah, and I like how you told us the whole backdrop, because this is since 1944, but since then a lot of major contributions, the Polish-American community, that voice, as you put it. And I'm just curious, in your experience and as you've observed it in the last years, is Poland's voice listened to more now in Washington, in the United States?
Well, I believe so, because the last election, for the presidency election, the Polish vote made a big difference. The states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and others, they are democratic states per se, but they voted Republican this time. So that will actually be also the Polish vote in a certain way.
And also you said in terms of policy and politics, civic engagement, I mean, one of the main issues of our time at the moment is obviously Ukraine.
Yes.
So tell us how, if anything, the Congress and through your work, how you've worked with supporting Ukraine.
Well, since the beginning, since the Russian aggression towards Ukraine, we have been working diligently with our partners, which is the Ukrainian Congress, Ukrainian American Congress. So President, at that time, President Spula, had many conferences, meetings, official statement with the president of the Ukrainian Congress, and what we try to do from the beginning is to try to emphasize on seriousness of this Russian aggression towards Ukraine. I have participated in a press conference in New York City when we had all the elected officials, and I was there representing Polish American Congress, and they asked me, you were born in Poland, what do you think? And I told them that you cannot trust Russia. Russia is an aggressor, and there is no freedom in Russia. Russia prevents any good development of culture. Everything is, it's dictated, it's the dictatorship.
And also I think that really matters also not just to Poles here, as you said, but that diaspora community. I mean, it's a big one. You yourself, born here in Poland, now at home somewhere else. But I'm also curious, I mean, we know that there's a large proportion of Poles in Chicago. That's the classic one. But there are other communities across the United States. So how much of the, let's say, the diaspora's role, how much does that help in terms of bringing Poland to the fore, in terms of events, in terms of also other Americans being aware of what Poland is?
Well, this is a sort of complicated question, because each state depends. Like you mentioned, Chicago. Chicago is very involved, very active, because basically that was the headquarters of the Polish American Congress. For many years, we also had an office in Washington, D.C., and we had we had the executive director that was responsible for the international policy, and the person attended many meetings with elected officials in Washington, organized our Day in Washington, which we prepare talking points with all the staffers for the congressmen and the senators. Basically, we reach out to the ones that are servicing us, our community, because we are the voters. So, of course, the voice of that to the voters is very important.
Mm-hmm. So on that voice, I mean, it's politics is one thing, but I'm also curious about how business works, trade. I mean, we've seen also for a long time, America was the place. A lot of people escaped communism, have gone off to the United States. But how has that shifted now, with Poland doing better and better in terms of not just as a more stable force, but also economically? Do you see more interest also from the diaspora into Poland in terms of business? Are they coming back? What are the business connections and the trajectory? Where do you see that how do you observe that the last few years?
Yes, there's a large interest. A lot of Polish people who are successful, they opening up the businesses in Poland as well. I participated in many business conferences which were in Poland and in the United States, and the only issue at that time, when I'm not talking about now it's a little bit different, but a few years back, the issue of I guess legal and responsibility of the legal business model for the foreign entities were very complicated in a Polish I guess the legal things. So they were saying the laws are changing. The laws are not simple for them. So they were afraid that if they go and invest in Poland, they will not be successful, or they will lose their funds, their assets.
So it's improved now.
Of course, now it's amazing. It's amazing. I know a lot of people, my friends, that they're investing in Poland, and they're very happy. They're happy because Poland is opened up. The opening up the business for the foreigner entity is much easier. Yeah, and it's safer.
Safer, and as we know, it's still a growing economy, and I think an interest.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I want to also ask you. I mean, some looking at, as you said, you know what's going on in the United States. You're close to policymakers there. The connection, proximity from Polish Americans to U.S. policymakers is a close one. Let me ask you in this sense, there is, by some, maybe we could see the world we're in at the moment, that some elements of that relationship between the United States and Poland, it's changed. Some could be worried about what's been said politically out loud. How sincere of a concern is that? How do you see it on the ground in the United States and Washington, that relationship on a political level between the United States and Poland these last few months?
I mean, personally, and from my observation, I think the relationship is good. There is, I guess, maybe a group of people or certain, entities that they trying to build this up to something that it really is not. All the people that we work with, and the people in the government right now, in State Department, we know that Poland is respected as a country. Polish people are very respected. President Trump mentioned that several times. in person and by the phone, in the letters. He always admired Polish people, their hard work, their patriotism, and their dedication to its country. So he likes that. He likes that. He likes people who care for their country.
Right, and I think also, as we've just discussed, I mean, that Polonia, this relationship between Poles and America, that goes across many parties through history a long ways, even down to Mr. Kosciuszko, right?
Yes,
exactly, right.
yes.
So it's a powerful relation, but look, thanks so much for sharing all that, really wonderful. Thanks for coming in. That was Bożena Kamińska, Vice President there of the Polish-American Congress. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more. Bye-bye.